We're now going to go for our next special guest. I'm going to sit over this side because we're really calling on Zoom to make sure our next guest can join us. And she is there. Thank you so much. We're now going to speak to Wafaa, the UNICEF representative in Somalia. Can you hear us okay?
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's such a joy to be joined by you. Thank you so much. We're here in the room. We're really excited to hear all you've got to say. So my first question is, how is the global community helping you do what you do? What are you seeing on the ground? And what else would you like to see happen?
Thank you for inviting me to the launch of United Against Malnutrition and Hunger. I'll speak about the humanitarian situation in Somalia, what needs to be done, and how the UK is very well placed to lead this alliance for global action. As we speak, famine has been kept at bay at Somalia. It has been just postponed from the last quarter of 2022 to mid this year, 2023. And I have seen this by visiting the hospital, for example, in Baidoa, where I've seen a less number of children who are severely malnourished and less number of deaths, but still there's a large number of children that are weak, that they need support, and that they are at the hospital. And I think this postponement of the famine has been as a result of multi-sectoral effort that is coordinated with the government and is supported by generous donation, including from countries like the United Kingdom. So I really want to thank so much all the colleagues from the UK for their support to the response in Somalia. However, the needs remain dire. The needs have actually increased. Now we have half of the population in need of humanitarian assistance. Almost 8 million people don't have access to water, and we have 1.8 million children malnourished. This is 1 in every 2 children under 5. This is really a staggering number. And around 500,000 children are severely wasted, which means that they are 12 times likely more to die. So we have managed to, with the multi-sectoral response, to keep famine at bay, but this has to be sustained because the needs remain massive and remain urgent. And first and foremost, we have to sustain the response on no-regret basis. I think the plan was launched for Somalia. It was just Somalia is calling for around 2 billion. In UNICEF, we have called for 227 million for that. And I think also we just have to take into consideration that the drivers of the need continue. We still have the climate change impact. We have had 5 failed rainy seasons. The next one even is projected to be less than average. We have the impact of COVID-19. We have the impact of the global, the global increases in prices of food and fuel impacted by the war in Ukraine, and there's conflict and insecurity. So there are multiple factors increasing vulnerability, and it's very important and very urgent to address the needs in Somalia. The good thing is that we demonstrated that by working collectively, by having this preventive and scalable approaches, that we can also have an impact. And I think just also to say that it's very important also to address the underlying causes and to get funding that is front-loaded, that is flexible, that is earmarked, that would enable us to address the underlying causes. And I think that's something very important. So investing in the humanitarian response by itself is not enough. And I have to say also that the UK is also in Somalia supporting beyond the immediate humanitarian response. There's also support for longer-term supports in terms of health. This has to be sustained, and I think the UK can also be a voice for other actors to step up and to increase their response in Somalia. And we know that, for example, we're very much concerned in a country like Somalia because the underlying causes of malnutrition also have much longer-term impact, and I would just say not just on global development, but also on the impact on the children themselves and their access to education, doing great work at work, and so on. I think also the other thing that is very important now that's different is that we have a moment of opportunity with a government that is committed, that is strengthening the system, that's trying to improve the security. So there is also an opportunity to invest on the really addressing this underlying causes, working with the government. And I think this is something very important. One of the other things that we also have to keep into consideration is to keep the Horn of Africa, where we have a large number of people, not only suffering from hunger and malnutrition, but also displacement, and really all their coping mechanisms have eroded, that we really have to focus on our attention on the Horn of Africa. And to that regard, the visit of the UK Development Minister in last December has been very, very helpful. And as such, I am really thrilled to be part of this launch. And I think it's very, very important that also you are leveraging and mobilizing actors and stakeholders from across different sectors. We need this solidarity, we need action, we need innovation. And so I am really very much excited. Thank you so much for that. And back to you, please. Thank you.